agreeing to have an interview with us. Perhaps my first question would be, so far, we know that the teams that you've played for, starting here locally, now you're an international player. Tell us your experience so far.
I'd like to say, I started football when I was young, 14 years, and when I was in Kenya, mainly I played for Liberty Academy. I played for 5 years in the county league, and we won the championship unbeaten, and then I went to the Kenyan Premier League and played 3 years for 3 different teams, and then won the league with Gor Mahia in 2015, became the best player of the season. And then I moved to Sweden and played 1 season, then moved to China, played half a season, moved to Spain, played 1 season, and now I'm in Japan. But I can say the transition process has been quite okay, because I can say I'm a fast learner and I adapt very easily. So I think maybe locally the challenge I faced was when I was in Tusker, because I was young in the league, and I was coming up against experienced strikers in the team. At the moment we had Jesse Were, Ismail Dunga, Moses Arita, and it was very difficult to break into the starting lineup. And also when I was in Gor, my first months were really quite hectic because of the pressure of the fans, and I did not score a lot of goals. But as time went by, I adapted, and I adapted to the style of play, and things went good, and I later became the best player of the season. The transition from Kenyan Premier League to Europe also was quite difficult, because when I went to Europe, it was winter, and the culture, everything, the weather, it was not quite favorable. Coming from Africa where it's warm, 28 degrees, and now you're going to a place where it's negative something 3, 4. It was quite really tough for me. But football is universal, and what matters is what you do inside the pitch. I had some good moments also as the league went to finish, and later on I made a good season, and I went to China, and in China there were some foreign quota rules, and it was not quite so favorable, and I had to go to Spain on loan. Spain was quite a really interesting challenge to me, because it was the top level football where any footballer could get, and it was really nice rubbing shoulders with players like Messi, Ronaldo, Diego Costa. These are our dream since young to play for these teams, and when you share the pitch with this kind of player, it really feels amazing. So it was really nice. And now I'm in Japan for a new challenge, and let's see how it goes.
Let me take you back. I know perhaps you were very young, but before going international, you had stints where you came to Tusker, then you were loaned again, and throughout your journey, there have been a lot of you being loaned to different clubs and getting that experience. Looking back, though you are young, do you think that was a strategy that worked very well for you, because you never stayed at a particular club for so long, and that allowed you to even grow better?
What I can say is that success path is never straight, and if your path is always straight, then it means you have not faced challenges. So challenges is what makes you better each and every day, because when you wake up every day, you want to outdo the rest of the players, and you want to be the best. So it means that the period when I was being loaned as a player, it means maybe there were some better players ahead of you, and I believe as a young player when I was in Tusker, I needed the experience to play in the Kenyan Premier League. So were it not making the decision of going on loan, maybe today I could not be where I am. So I can say the decisions worked into my favor, and I went to Thika, Coach John Kamau, he believed in me, gave me the opportunity, the platform, and I really performed well. And it was a big decision, to join Gor Mahia. They were a big team. By that time, they had sold their best striker, Darin Serinkuma. And I was brought there, to fill in the shoes. It was not quite so easy, because that time I was 20 years old. And playing for Gor, it's a team of pressure, So it was a make it or break it, point. But for me, I liked these challenges, and I took it head on. And it paid off. So I believe, we have to take risks in football, because for you to be successful, you have to also compete with the best.
Looking forward, all the countries you've been to, can you speak Spanish, Chinese, and Japanese?
Not really, but because I believe football you don't need so much, of speaking, because it's a game where normally we need just vision. If I see you, I know how to pass for you the ball.
Yeah.
For me, my job is to score, so I don't need any language, to score. But of course, you cannot say hi, to talk to the coach a little bit. So,
Yeah. So far, do you know how to say hi in Japanese?
no, I don't know.
Now, when you moved to, I know this is a sensitive issue, and even me personally, I would not want to talk about it. But since hey, you're Mike Olunga, we have to ask you. There are those reports that hey, Olunga has gone to play in the Japanese league, and this means he will be earning a lot of money. Confirm or deny that that's the amount of money that you earn?
What's a lot of money to you?
It depends. According to Kenyans, perhaps, maybe to them, that is a lot of money.
That's what I ask you. What's a lot of money according to you?
Not according to me. According to reports, it's 15 million.
Well, for me, what I can say is that, when you are signing contracts, it's normally very sensitive, and nobody will ever disclose, their contracts.
Yeah.
So I also don't know how they got this figure, because, when you sign a contract, even if you're at work, your director can never, go and show your fellow employee your contract. So personally, even I don't know where the reports are. But what I can say is that, of course, we are getting enough to satisfy our needs.
That's a very smart response coming from you. But lastly, what drives you as Michael Olunga, and what sets you apart from the rest?
For me, I believe I'm unique in my own way, because first of all, I believe, in education, first of all. And, when you are also educated, you have to, you view, football not only as a game, but also as a career, and something that, you do it for passion, and I wanted to, distinguish myself from the rest of the players, by, creating history, like setting my own story, like a young boy from, Lakisama Estate, growing, through hardship, playing, bare feet, and now, like, you are reaching in a level where you are going to play against, Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi. It's been quite a journey, and for you to, achieve, or for you to reach, to these heights, it calls for a lot of, discipline, patience, determination, and endurance, because there are a lot of things, that footballers go through, and it's never an easy ride, to be like on top, because we don't have, good academies here in Kenya. We don't have good resources. Football in Kenya is not well paying, so you find that most of the parents, they don't want their kids to play, because they don't see soccer, as a career. They see soccer as a hobby. So for me, I wanted, to bring out, these things that, footballers, they cannot read, and they cannot play soccer at the same time. So I was trying to balance it, with education, and trying, to be, just to be wise, because football is a very short career, and God gives us this opportunity, and it's a platform for us to showcase our skills, and we will not play it for so long. So when you're there, make it count, and we invest as much as possible, because we learn from other people's experiences. We don't want these things to befall us again. So just to urge my fellow players, if you're getting something small, try to put it into something productive, so that you can, make it after, because not most of our current crop of footballers are learned. So most of them will not depend on education. So they will depend on what they are getting now via football. So if you're getting something small, try and put it in something much effective. If it's in a business, properties, things like this, and the future will be okay.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.